Hey everybody, it's the middle of the night and it's time to make a small video. This is really cool. I have a lot of loose carts. Actually, this is how many loose carts I have. I picked this up today at the flea market for $6. A lot of people expect me to haggle. No, this is worth every penny. It's made of wood and it's 60 capacity. Now it's a cassette in case storage thing, right? Well, I don't use cassettes too much. I've got a little box of cassettes with the Commodore and Atari stuff on it. Yes, they're cool. And well, I've got that, but I don't have too many tapes. I picked this up. Excuse me. I picked this up. I'm going to hang it on my wall. And I'm going to, since it lays vertical against the wall, the carts like to fall out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put little stops on the bottom corners, make it come out just a little bit like that. And I'm really thinking of the idea of putting a glass or a plexiglass door over the whole thing, because that would just be neat. And I want to do it. I want to do something like that. And the next thing that I picked up, this is really cool and it's useful in so many ways. Okay, it looks like a yellow box with a switch. It says off, tone, and talk. What does this do? This is a tone generator. Not like the big one I have at work, but a tone generator for specifically telephones. Let me show you. It's got wires wrapped in cotton. This thing's old, and I think it actually might qualify for vintage. And this is used to create a tone on a wire, right? You got two alligator clamps that lock down on something on a wire, and the wire goes in, goes through the clamp, well, you can't see it, and out the little hole right there by that bolt. Okay, that's how you run it kind of in line with the wire. And I needed this because I've got all these old computers, right? And they don't all use the same, method to communicate. If I want a Commodore to talk to an Atari, I got to do some fancy footwork. This makes it a little bit easier. Now, as it's off, it does nothing, right? Now it runs on a 9 volt. I'll open it up in just a second. Put it on tone. It creates a dial tone, right? You put it on talk. It leaves it at just carrier signal. So you get your computer hooked up, modem to modem, right? And I'm talking old computers, not Windows. Windows got Ethernet. Windows, the computers all talk the same language, so networking is no big deal. Now, what I'm planning to do is use this box, and by the way, $5 score, not bad, and it works. He showed it to me working, so it's cool. He tested it for me. You hook up your two computers via modems. Let's say a Commodore and an Atari 800, right? Commodore 64, Atari 800. The two programs on the computers won't talk to each other very well. Well, through modems they will. Okay, now if you go from port to port, they talk to a different language, different protocols, different language. This will allow me, instead of having to, do a swap trick by plugging the thing up into the wall, and then after it gets the dial tone and it wants to talk, I have to swap it back real quick. Those RJ11 jacks, they're tough until you try to move them a lot from jack to jack. Then you find out, well, these little chunks of plastic aren't that great. This will let me go directly from wire to wire, right? Modem to modem, and generate the tone. The modem hears it, and then once it starts to dial, click it to talk, and it becomes a carrier. That's fine, okay? And a lot of those old modems need the dial tone, need the carrier signal. They need that stuff. And this, I've already got the screw loose, is a very simple one IC, right? And it uses a 9 volt, bunch of little parts and pieces and stuff. Nothing much to it, but it generates that specific tone that the modems are listening for. And I'm going to look this up. It looks pretty vintage to me, just looking at it. See the little plastic that the 9-volt clip has on it. What does that look like? Nothing I've ever seen. And the uh, cotton wrap wires, that's pretty cool. Big fat switch. Switches have been a lot smaller for a long time. So that's my biggest pickup for today. That's the coolest part of it. And well, as far as stuff goes, it was a pretty dry day. There was not a lot of stuff there today. But I did go, and that's it. 2 items, almost 5 minutes. Sorry y'all. I really like this stuff. That's cool. Now, they get to be displayed proudly in a nice, this is actually a nice wooden case, okay? It really is. I like it a lot. And I like this. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye-bye.